for sure.
What? Who are you? Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? I don't know. I can't remember. You can't remember your name? Well, next time you spend a night in this burg, go easy on the bub. Name's Mort. I'm trapped in here too. Trapped? Yeah. Since you haven't had time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I've tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than a chastity belt. We're locked in. Where? What is this place? It's called the mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. The mortuary? What, am I dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty, though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the laugh before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars? How bad are they? Well, the carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back? Say, looks like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells out something. Tattoos on my back? What do they say? Well, looks like you come with directions. Let's see. Starts with, I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Stig's wash. But you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farad can fill you in on the rest of the chant, if he's not in the dead book already. Farad. Does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. Let's see. Goes on. Don't lose the journal, or we'll be up the sticks again. And whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage back to the crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal, then find Farad. No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written there. As for that journal I'm supposed to have with me, was there one with me while I was lying there? No, you were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looks like you got enough of a journal pinned in your body. What about Farad? Do you know him? Nobody I know. Then again, I don't know many people. Still, some work's gotta know where to find Farad. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we'll need the key. Chances are one of the walking corpses in this room has it. Walking corpses? Yeah. The mortuary keepers use dead bodies as cheap labor. The corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless and won't attack you unless you attack first. So I should attack one of these corpses and loot it for the key? Well, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves around here. Alright, I'll look for one. One last thing. Those corpses are as slow as molasses, but getting punched by one of them is like being kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting an edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover. Alright, thanks for the advice. Okay, let's look around this room here. I've woken up in this mortuary. I don't know who I am or where I came from. Dried blood covers this slab's surface. This slab is covered with dried blood and other remains. Let's look on this shelf. Oh, here's the scalpel. Alright, you found the scalpel. Now go get those corpses. And don't worry, I'll stay back and provide valuable tactical advice. Maybe you could help me more. I will be helping you. Good advice is hard to come by. I meant help in attacking the corpse. Me? I'm a romantic, not a soldier. I just get in the way. When I attack this corpse, you better be right there with me, or you'll be the next thing I plunge this scalpel in. Alright, I'll help you. I'm glad we understand each other. Time to introduce these corpses to the second death, then. let's go. Okay, so these corpses. Let me take a look at them. The Sambling corpse looks like it has been dead for several years. The skin along his forehead is peeled back, revealing its chalk-white skull. Someone has chiseled the number 569 into the exposed bone. I'm looking for a key. Do you happen to have one?
Chief, they can't hear you, alright? They're dead.
But you're dead. You're talking to me.
Yeah, but I'm special. Death couldn't kill my zest for life. These corpses here, they probably didn't have much personality to begin with.
I see.
Look, Chief, watching you try to straw up the chant with these corpses isn't doing much for my morale. Let's leave the corpse talk for the barmies, alright?
Alright then, let's go. What about this zombie? This corpse's head lolls back and forth on its shoulders. Judging from the angle of its neck, it looks like this man may have been hanged. The number 825 has been painted on the side of his head. Examine the corpse, see if it's carrying a key. This corpse is carrying nothing, but you happen to notice its hands are heavily bandaged. The bandages might be useful if the corpse was disposed of first. Okay. I'll dispose of the corpse with my scalpel and get the bandages.
What's up? Okay.
Get the bandages.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to the zombie. This corpse stops and stares blankly at you as you approach. The number 782 is carved onto its forehead, and its lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. Examine the corpse. This corpse seems to be the one with the key. It is holding it tightly in its left hand, its thumb and forefinger locked around it in a death grip. It looks like you need to hack the corpse's hand off to free the key. I need that key, corpse. Looks like you're not long for this world. Got hit.
All right.
Okay, preparation room key. Here we go. Okay, Mort, I found the key. Let's get out of here. Make sure we found everything. Some more bandage here. Looks like someone is in the middle of dissecting this corpse. Jeez. What are they planning to dissect me?
Psst. Some advice, Chief. I keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary, especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here.
I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are these caretakers?
They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everyone should die, sooner better than later.
I'm confused. Why do these dustmen care if I escape?
Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's gotta die, sooner better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it?
The corpses I've seen here, where did they all come from?
Death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death.
Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female zombies. Why?
What? Are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bastards like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no locking their limbs off, things like that.
Last chance? What are you talking about?
Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? Huh?
You can't be serious.
Chief, We've already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience.
Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead?
Well, alright, you might not be dead, but I am. And for where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely.
Alright, I'll try to remember that.
Look, Chief, it's obvious you're still a little addled after your kiss with death, so I've got 2 bits of advice for you. One, if you got questions, ask me, alright?
Alright, if I have any questions, I'll ask you.
Second, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget.
Well, if I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that.
Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you.
Alright, it couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then.
Use it to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things like who you are, or more importantly, who I am, use it to refresh your memory.
Alright, I got it. Let's go.
Updated my journal.
So we have a journal screen. Mort is a talking skull. His sole weapon seems to be his mouth, whether by taunting or biting. He seems to be along for the ride, whether you want him around or not. You're somewhat curious as how he's able to float around. You are nameless. You awoke on the slab in the mortuary in Sigil, covered in scars and tattoos, your memory gone. Who has done this to you and why? You don't know yet, but you're gonna find out. Alright. It's a zombie worker. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper thin, almost wispy. Looks like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched into her forehead with a charcoal pencil. So, doing anything later? The corpse continues to stare at you. Farewell then.
Psst. You see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone.
Mort, what are you talking about?
Are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me.
Wanted you to go away, maybe. She was obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth.
You? Yeah, right. Trust me, chits beyond the grave don't care about all that physicality and I've got a body and I'm all scarred and tough looking. They want guys with spirit. That's me, Chief. You? Corpses like you are as common as copper.
Whatever, Mort. Let's go. You're ridiculous. The left side of this woman's face looks as if it was caved in with a club, and her flesh sags in bruised, swollen clumps over her ruined skull. The number 626 has been stitched into this corpse's right cheek, just below the eye. Nasty wound you got there. The corpse continues to stare at you with its one good eye. Farewell then. Nothing over here. Blood, stains, rust, and other remains cover the surface of this metal slab. It's much larger than most of the other slabs, and is sitting on a platform that allows it to be rotated. Interesting. It's the zombie worker. This corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches one of the corners of the triangle, it pauses, then turns and staggers toward the next corner. It has 965 tattooed on the side of its skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you.
Looks like someone forgot to tell this sod to stop walking the rule of threes.
What do you mean?
These corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. Like When they're told to do something, they'll keep doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor sod probably finished some task and they forgot to tell him.
Who gives them their commands?
Either one of the caretakers here, or whatever necromancer raised them out of the deck book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They're the ones who need the cheap labor, after all.
I see. What was that you said before about the rule of threes?
Well, the rule of threes is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything's composed of 3 parts, or there's always 3 choices, and so on and so forth.
You don't sound like you hold much faith in it.
It's a load of wash, if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're going to find plenty of coincidences.
Alright, come on, let's keep moving. Let's go through this door. It's here. A room full of zombies, and it's like an old man and a giant book. Wonder what this is about. The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled, and he has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings.
Whoa, Chief, what are you doing?
I was gonna speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here.
Look, rattling your bone box with Dusty's should be the last thing.
Before Mord can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down, and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze.
And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the bet.
Before Mord can finish, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Restless one, do you know me? Know you? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question, as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. I am Dahl. Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dahl.
Updated my journal.
Very well. What did you wish to know? What is this place? You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again, you have... Come. Before he can finish, Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing. After a moment, he calms himself, and his breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life. Tell me about the mortuary. This is where the dead are brought to be interned or cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left this shadow of life, to walk the path to true death. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home. Shadow of life? Yes, a shadow. You see, restless one, this life, it is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die. And here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death. True death.
True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. A state of purity.
It sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that?
Is it worse than remaining in the shadow of life once was? I think not.
Shadow of life?
Yes, a shadow. You see, Restless One, this life is not real.
What makes you think this life isn't real?
What makes you think this life is real? Look inside yourself. Do you not feel something lacking? This is purgatory. There is only sorrow here, misery, torment. These are not the elements that make up life. They are part of the cage that traps us in this shadow.
Cage us? How?
Passions carry weight. They anchor many to the shadow of life. As long as one clings to emotion, they will be continually born into this life, forever suffering, never knowing the purity of true death.
I see. And how does one escape the cycle of rebirth and achieve this true death?
Kill your passions. Strip yourself of the need for sensation. When you are truly cleansed, then the cycle of rebirth will end, and you will achieve peace. Past these shells of ours, past the eternal boundary, lies the peace that all souls seek.
The eternal boundary?
The boundary between the shadow of this life and the true death.
I see. I had some more questions.
Very well. What did you wish to know?
How did I get here?
Your moldy chariot fared you to the mortuary, Restless One. Do you think you were royally based on the number of royal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the chart that carried you?
I arrived here on a cart.
Updated my journal.
Yes. Your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Your seneschal, Farid, was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate.
Who is this Farid?
He is a collector of the dead. We have such people in our city that scavenge the bodies of those who have walked the path of true death and bring them to us so that they may be interned properly.
Where can I find this Farid?
If events persist as they have, Restless One, you will have a much greater chance of Farid finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time.
Nevertheless, I must find him.
Do not seek out Farid, Restless One. I'm certain that it will simply come full circle again, with you none the wiser and Farid a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery.
I have to find him. Do you know where he is?
Updated my journal.
I do not know under which gut of stone Farid layers at the moment, but I imagine he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates in the hive. Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him.
It doesn't sound like you like Farid very much.
There are some I respect, Restless One. Farid is not one of them.
He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor, and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post, cross-trading filth with the lowest sort.
Knight of the Post?
A knight of the post. A thief. All Farad brings to our walls comes stripped of a little less of their dignity than they possessed in life. Farad takes whatever he may pry from their stiffening fingers.
Did this ferret take anything from me?
Most likely. Are you missing anything? Especially anything of value? Not that Farad would take exception to anything that wasn't physically grafted to your body, and sometimes even that's not enough to keep his greedy mind pause.
I'm missing a journal.
A journal. If it was any value, then it is likely that it lies in Pharaoh's hands.
I see. I had some other questions. Can you tell me how to get out of here?
The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than Dustmen pass. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive.
I see. I had some other questions.
Very well. What did you wish to know?
What do you do here?
I am a scribe, a cataloger of the shells that come into the mortuary. As long as the stream of corpses flow through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post.
You say that I've been here more than once. How is it the Dustmen do not recognize me?
Updated my journal.
I am the one that catalogs the shells that come through our halls, Restless One. Only I see the faces of those who lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me.
You sound ill. Are you not well?
I am close now to the true death, Restless One. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I.
Are you certain there might be some way I could help you?
I do not wish to live forever, nor live again, Restless One. I could not bear it. We Dustmen are a faction, a gathering of those of us that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on their journey.
Perhaps you can explain why the Dustmen want me dead.
It is said there are souls who can never attain the true death. Death has forsaken them, and their names shall never be penned in the dead book. To await from death as you have done suggests you are one of these souls. Your existence is unacceptable to our faction.
Unacceptable? That doesn't sound like it leaves me in a good position.
You must understand. Your existence is blasphemy to them. Many of our faction would order you cremated if they were aware of your affliction.
You're a Dustman, but you don't seem in favor of killing me. Why not?
Because forcing our beliefs upon you is not just. You must give up on the shadow of life on your own, not because we force you to. As long as I remain at my post, I will protect your right to search for your own truth. What about Sigil? Sigil is our fair city, restless one. Do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant little of you, restless one. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. I ask you no longer ask others to join you, restless one. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. There are others who journeyed with me. They're here.
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought she traveled with you in the past. Am I mistaken? Where's her body? The northwest memorial hall on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. Dahl makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. Before you said there were others interned here who journeyed with me. Where are they? Doubtless they are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. I see. Farewell, Dahl. As you turn to leave, Dahl speaks. Know this. I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return you here. It is the way of all things, flesh and bone. Then perhaps we'll meet again, Dahl. Interesting fellow. Now, how do I get out of here?